What is up, YouTube? Today I'm here to show you Scarlet Tower, a game I received a key for from Pyxeralia and KeyMailer, and I was able to stream it over on my Twitch channel not too long ago, and I thought to myself, why should Twitch only be able to get to see this? I should be able to show this off on YouTube as well, right? It's a good game and everybody should know about it. So today we're going to go over what I've generally learned in the about 3 hours I was able to play this game. So come with me on this journey and find out for yourself how great this game is. Now, in this game you have a nice variety of different characters you can choose from. You start off with just Vlad and Nin, but you can unlock the other 5 along the way. The first 4 are just by playing the game and doing certain tasks. Leah over here, a little more complicated, you have to find her out in the world, so keep an eye out for her. One thing I really like about this game is each of the characters have their own little avatar here, where you get a little bit more detail of what they're supposed to look like, and you get a little bit of a better idea of what their personality probably is. The art style for each of them are really great, and I can't get enough of it. Now, one thing you will notice is each of the characters start off with their own special main weapon that act differently compared to one another, as well as they each have their own passives and glyphs that go along with each of the passives. You got the bat aspect here for Vlad, where you can dash and you'll turn into a bat and gain some extra movement speed. Or you can go transfusion, where you'll generate a blood pulse and it will pretty much kill everything around you and you'll be able to steal a bit of health from them. Really nice. That's the one I went with first off. Then over here in the talents, which gives you a little bit more customizability, as you gain more night shards, which is this purple currency over here, so you can unlock more and more offensive and defenses, little perks that you can upgrade along the way. Each tier ends up costing more night shards, but as you can see, once you get down all the way to the bottom, they cost 3,000 apiece. It gets a little pricey, but within 3 hours I was able to get this far, so it's not too bad of a grind. Each of the little passives kind of vary from level to level, and you can pick one from each level, and you're not locked into one specific one. So if you have a specific run where you're thinking, oh, you know what, this would be fun to try, you can switch it on the fly and you can kind of just make builds from there. Really gives the game an extra little bit of depth. Unlockable is pretty straightforward. Nice little list telling you, okay, what do I need to do to unlock all these different things? The weapons list has a nice bit to it. Relics, not a whole lot here, but the relics are decent nonetheless. And then the maps and the general are nice little boosters that you can get just for playing the game. Power Up is a fun tab and it adds even more depth to the game overall, especially here with like the racial traits, where you can see down in the bottom right hand corner here which racial traits will affect which characters. So if you find a particular character that you really like, definitely focus on that trait and get that boosted up so you can have more fun with your character. Over here in stats, pretty straightforward. For a bit of gold, each of the individual stats you can give a nice little boost to. In the 3 hours that I played, I was able to get everything upgraded to the full level 5, so it's not a big grind and it helps out a whole lot. And then these ones right here with stars, those are the ones that they recommend that you level up early on. I would personally say attack speed is probably one of my favorite ones that I took the time to upgrade, and it made the game a bit easier overall, so I highly recommend attack speed. Familiars, so far I've only unlocked 2, but it's a nice little buddy that flies around with you and you can level them up to unlock even more little passive buffs that you can get, and you can improve the buffs that they give as well. It's a nice little touch, and again, adds that nice little extra bit of customizability so you can make the game kind of what you want it to be. And then finally, runes. I haven't found any runes yet, so I'm not 100% sure how this works, but I can at least assume you can have up to 5 runes at a time. And then over here in the enchantments, you can enchant the runes, and then you can see what kind of success rate you can get based on which of the enchantments you buy, depending on what currency you use. All right, so from here, we're going to do a quick little run. We're going to show off little things that I have found to be fun, interesting, and all that. So don't worry, you're not going to have to sit here through an entire 30-minute run. I'm going to give you the key points here. All right. So for this run, we're going to do a Reese run. He's one of the 2 that I haven't actually had a chance to play yet, so this should be really interesting. I'm very excited to see what his Hammer of Justice does. So let's go ahead and head to our map. Now, as you can see here, we have 3 different maps. The first 2 are still locked for me. As you complete a corruption level, you unlock the next one. Within the 3 hours, I was only able to get through the first 2, so I'm very interested to see how the rest progress. As you can see, as I increase the corruption level, more enemies are added in that I will have to deal with. I'm interested to see exactly how far in the corruption level I have to go to unlock the other lands. But so far, this first one very interesting, and I think they do a good job of increasing the amount of gold, experience, and night shards that you get to make things feel balanced out, like you're getting that nice kind of risk-reward situation going. So, without any further ado, let's check it out. Okay, so already with our bit of attack speed, ooh, okay, so that's what the compass does. Alright, so the compass gives us a nice little mini map down in the right hand corner, which is something that we didn't have beforehand. I will say when I first played through this, I wasn't getting the main weapon upgrade as an option for a good chunk of time. I think I was just unlucky in the beginning. Now with 3 slots left, I will take the time to at least pick up 2 items that I know will fuse together, like the Frost Staff. All right, so we're gonna pick up the Frost Staff now, and one of the weapons we will need here in the near future, the Fire Staff. The Essence Hourglass, really good. I really appreciate having it, so we'll go ahead and take that. Now, the cooldowns are specifically for the weapons that you end up picking up, not your main weapon. Attack speed is for the weapon that you start with. Fire Staff, perfect. So once I get both the Frost Staff and the Fire Staff up to level 5 and eventually find a chest, they should fuse together into a brand new weapon. Now, one thing that's interesting about this game in comparison to Vampire Survivors is the fusions are based on the weapons that you have, not based on the weapon and the rune that you have. So the relics are only specifically for little passive upgrades to your stats during your run. You don't have to worry about picking up a specific one to fuse anything, at least not that I've seen so far. So pick up what you think is going to work best for you. Now that red gem that I just picked up, I didn't notice any of those dropping whenever I played through the first time with just the corruption level 1. I noticed them starting to pop up in corruption 2. I'm not sure if I just wasn't paying attention or not, but at the very least in corruption 2, I can guarantee you'll see them on the ground as drops. I will say I really appreciate the mini-map right here. This right here is a really useful tool to have. And I think if I had this beforehand, it would have made finding the final character to unlock, Leah, I feel like that would have made it a lot easier. So definitely, as soon as you can unlock the compass, I highly recommend it. The nice thing is when you do fuse items together, it opens up a slot, and then you can still get that same item again. So if you happen to really like a specific weapon, you can always pick it back up. But overall, I feel like the game feels very smooth. I feel like the hitboxes are very nice. I don't feel like I'm getting hit by just everything. I feel like I'm able to bob and weave rather nicely without having to worry about every little thing coming at me. All right, let's see our first fusion. All right. So water staff, now it doesn't tell you what it fuses into, so you want to pay attention up to here to see what disappears. As you can see, the fire and the frost one have disappeared, and now we just have the water wand. And now we have a whole space open for a whole nother weapon. I kind of want to get the corruption, I don't think it's called corruption crown, but I want to get the crown weapon and see if it fuses with the robe, because I feel like that's a natural pairing. I feel like that makes sense. So on the minimap, the little green symbol that we have right near us is representative of these like little flowers. Each of the little flowers end up doing a random kind of like elemental type damage when you run over them. They don't hurt you, but they hurt the enemies. So definitely keep an eye out for those. Those are very nice. You'll notice right here we have a little boss that has a health bar over top of it. It's like every so often, it's like depending on what time it is in the countdown, a boss or big boss will spawn. Usually when they do, they drop a chest, which is very helpful. Now, the nice thing about the chest is if you get multiple items but you don't want one, you can just hover over it and click the discard button. So the little money symbols are these cool frog people. Now, I'll just show you real quick. I don't think I'll have enough for them, but, and I will say this, anytime I've ever gone to one of these frogs for anything and I have enough to buy some of these cooler items, they're not selling them. If I don't have enough, they always seem to be selling them. But now that I can see them up on the minimap, gonna be worth it. And the cool thing I really like about this game is it costs the amount of enemies that you've defeated. It makes it kind of worthwhile to defeat a lot of enemies, and it gives you a nice little like reward for like, hey, you killed this many enemies. Well, here you go. You have something nice. These items that you buy, they only are for the run itself, but I have a feeling that the Fire Scythe and the Flame Crown, I need to buy those specifically so that way I can unlock them for them to show up in the weapon pool as I level. One nice thing about the chests is it's not just upgrading the items that you have already. It is for also discovering items that you might not have seen pop up as you've been leveling up. And that's where the discard comes especially in handy, because sometimes it gives you options of things that you don't necessarily want. Just like in Vampire Survivor, there's nice little lanterns around that you can break open and they will drop some food or other items for you. I mainly only ever see food, but I know that there's like an orb collector item. I don't know what it looks like because anytime I've ever actually picked it up, it's been in the middle of pure chaos, and I've never had the opportunity to actively know that I was going to pick it up. Just at some point, all the experience just starts come flying at me, and I'm not mad about it. It's just it's like I get a little confused. Okay, I don't know what these question marks are, but we're finding them. I don't think I've ever seen an explanation of what exactly these dice do, but anytime I see them, I pick them up. I can't say it's ever hurt me or helped me in any sense, but I pick them up. Alright, let's see. Does this chest give me anything? A nice 5 chest. I'm not mad about it. Let's see. Luck Charm, we don't have that already, so like I said, that'll be something we'll want to either decide if we want to take or not. I will say Greed and Luck are both nice to have, so I'll just take those. I'm not really mad about it. Pretty much as long as I can get my cooldowns reduction, my attack speed reduction, and possibly some damage dealt. Those are usually some of the top 3 relics that I look for. Let's go Corruption Crown, because I think Corruption Crown is going to go with the Corruption Robe. I feel like that just makes sense. I don't know if that's just too on the nose or not, but I'm going with it. I feel like that just makes enough sense to me. Now you will see it's like it switched from day to nighttime, and things got a little bit scarier, which I think is a interesting part of the game itself. Aha! Darkness Cloak. I called it. Oof. Okay. But overall, real quick look at everything. It gives you a nice little ending right here. Up here, it has the timer counting down. If you don't finish the final boss by the time the timer counts down, it's not going to instant kill you like it does in Vampire Survivor. It lets you keep going. It just stops counting down time. I'm assuming later on, because of the whole day-night cycle and it's starting off saying day 1, there's going to be modes where you can survive multiple days. So I look forward to finding out when that might start taking effect. But yeah, fun game overall. If you really enjoy games like Vampire Survivor, I can guarantee you're going to enjoy this. I know I did. Once again, big thanks to Pyxeralia and KeyMailer for giving me this key so I could check this out and share it with all of you. I have the link for the game down in the doobly-doo. You can get it on Steam. I definitely think the game's worth it. I've had so much fun with this so far, and I can see myself losing a lot of hours in this game. And I look forward to see where this continues to go. And it's only an alpha, so it only has up to go, right? If you made it this far and you enjoyed the video, if you could drop a like, a subscribe, it would really mean a lot to me. But thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.